Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here, and welcome to Mornings with 60 and Me. Today is Friday, it is November the 11th. So I hope you're doing great today. It's a Friday, almost the weekend. Hope you've got something really fun planned, something with your family or your friends, and you're going to get out into nature perhaps, but do something good for yourself this weekend. But today's Friday, and it's a very special day in the United Kingdom. But before I start, I must tell you about my tea. I've got lemon ginger this morning, which is a lovely tea for a Friday morning. It wakes you up. It's very energizing. And I love lemon anyway, but lemon ginger tea is great. But take a cup of coffee or tea and settle down, and I'll bring you up to speed on the news. Also, I started to say that today is a very special day in the United Kingdom. It's Remembrance Day, or Armistice Day, as they call it, or Poppy Day. And this is a day when everybody in the UK wears a poppy, a red poppy, and there's a ceremony tomorrow on the 11th of November, the 11th hour, the 11th day, 11th month, to really acknowledge and pay tribute to all the soldiers who have died in wars. It started actually for the First World War. It was the first armistice was signed on the 11th of November, 11 o'clock in 1918, and that was to acknowledge the men that had died in the war, obviously in the First World War. But the Royal Legion now has this event every year where they sell poppies. People wear them in recognition of the sacrifice that these soldiers have made. And now they're actually extending it to current disputes and wars as well. So anyone who really has given their life in service of the UK, United Kingdom, is remembered on this day tomorrow, November the 11th. And it's one of those moments. They have a ceremony where there's 2 minutes of silence. It's quite powerful. And then there's also Remembrance Sunday, which it follows in a couple of days. But anyway, from our UK sisters, I know that you're going to be surrounded by that memory and by that remembrance. And I think it's a good opportunity for us all around the world to remember the servicemen and women who give their lives to protect their country. And that's Poppy Day in the United Kingdom. There's a few other things going on in the world, believe it or not. In France, the first migrant center has opened in Paris. This is where they took all the people that were in the jungle in Calais. They've now moved them to the first migrant center where they're being processed, and some are signing on for asylum. In Japan, the markets had quite a crash yesterday, but they've regained and bounced back right away, and Asian markets are doing well. Things are stabilizing a bit in the markets after the election in the States. In Australia has ratified the Paris climate deal. And this is amazing that just about every country in the world now is signed on to this climate deal, which is committing to try to reduce CO2 emissions and to hopefully improve and affect and stop the climate change that's going on. So that's Australia now on board. In Syria, 20 civilians unfortunately were killed in an airstrike led by the US-led coalition. This happens in these kind of really close, cornered wars, and unfortunately there were some civilians caught up in the fire. But they're moving forward to Mosul, and I think I mentioned earlier yesterday that the Peshmerga soldiers have taken over a very key town that was preventing them from making a movement forward, and now they're going to get going into the center of Mosul for urban fighting, which is not going to be easy. In Russia, the Prime Minister, Medvedev, is meeting with Israeli officials, and this is a good sign that there's conversations going on there. And in India, this is a very interesting story. The Prime Minister, Modi, decided a few days ago that he was going to invalidate 2 of the higher currencies in the Indian currency. So, for example, it would just be like the Bank of England saying, tomorrow we're going to not take the pound coin is not going to be accepted as currency anymore. I mean, this is what he did. And so people are now queuing up in front of the banks. They've got a few days. He's given them some grace to take their $5 bills that it equates to and change them for a lower currency. So now they're going to need a bag of money to buy some bread or chapatis, but this is a strange one. But the pictures are quite crazy of these thousands of people queuing up outside a bank to get in to trade their money, their higher level money, for lower currency. They get the same currency but in smaller bills. Very interesting. So let's see. In Germany, Angela Merkel is said that she is offering the new President-elect Trump close cooperation based on the values of the German people, and made very clear that was her conditions. And in France, President Hollande is asking to meet with the President-elect Trump as soon as possible, even before he gets officially in place, so that they can start really working out some of the issues that are really of interest to both countries. In the UK, going back to UK real briefly, the EU has come out with its proposals, or its statement about income and trade for 2017, and it says because of the Brexit decision, they expect EU growth to nearly be cut in half. So 50% a drop in their output, and that's, as they say, due to the Brexit decision. So that's an interesting story. And keeping with money and finances, the Mexican president, the peso has crashed the last few days, but has picked up today, is going to meet with President-elect Trump and get the conversations going about this wall, and really about what's going to be the future of their relationship. I think it's going to be a little calmer than we probably expect. So that's the Mexican situation. And so that's really the news of the world. That's kind of what's going on in the world. Personally, I wanted to tell you today, I'm doing the news a little early today because I'm heading off to Zurich in a few minutes to attend TEDx Zurich. And for those of you that know me, you know that I go to these TEDx events quite a bit. They're the community, the local versions of the TED.com talks that you can listen to, anyone can listen to. But basically any city in the world can put together a TED event and choose a topic and get speakers and run the show. In fact, if you are interested, you should look on TED.com. See if there are any TEDx events in your neighborhood. It's a really cool way to spend a day, and you meet some fascinating people. And I'm a volunteer. I'm going to be there volunteering and helping with the crowd, and also watching the talks. So that's going to be fun. But I looked today, because of they're just the end of a long week, for some feel-good stories to share with you. And I keep being drawn to this Good News Network, and they have a lot of really lovely stories there. goodnewsnetwork.com. And they said that, basically in the light of all that's been going on, not just in the United States, the whole world is just churning with difficulties and disagreements, different beliefs and so on. And they say that they're basically going to continue to celebrate positivity over negativity, and to remind, I'm just reading the notes here because it's really beautiful what they said, to remind you that even though things may look bleak, people are waking up all over the world and doing good. And they report on these good news stories. So I've got two actually I want to share with you, and this first one is so sweet. It just goes to show that, people that I admire are sometimes the children who come up with these wonderful ideas. This little girl called Chloe Thompson, she is 10 years old, I think it's 11 or 10, and she decided that there were too many women on the streets who were homeless. And she said to her mom, how can I help these ladies, and what do they need? So she puts together this little Chloe Cares kit. It's in a beautiful bag. She sews them on her little sewing machine, and they're beautiful designs. And she fills them with shampoo and soap and toothpaste and tissues, things that women would need. And she goes out with her mom, and sometimes alone in her own neighborhood, and gives them to the women. She just goes up to them and offers them a bag. And this is in Irvine, in California. Maybe you California women know about this little girl. She's got quite a bit of press because she's just so sweet, and she's got a great heart. And this story is celebrated in the Good News Network. But that's Chloe. I think she's awesome. But these are the things that you don't have to be, experienced or, even 60 years old. You can just have a good heart and go out there and do good. And the other thing I wanted to share with you was, I won't read them all, but this is 10 incredible young people who are spreading peace around the world. This is on the Good News Network as well. And I just wanted to read a few of them because, honestly, it just takes my breath away with the goodness that some of these young people want to bring to the world. and how creative they are. They just do this stuff, and sometimes they're in the most difficult situations themselves. They're in war zones or places where there's a lot of a challenge for them. So it starts with, well, first of all, Emma Watson. Some of you know her. She's an actress. She became a UN ambassador for Goodwill at the age of 24. And she's been working for this he for she campaign, and because partly she's well known, she's actually got all kinds of advocates and raised money for this this important work she does. And she's older now, but she started when she was 24. There's a young man called Victor Oken. He lives in Uganda, and he actually he grew up in a war zone but wanted to be a peace activist. So he started the African Youth Initiative Network, bringing people together who had suffered because of the Ugandan Civil War. And he actually was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, and he's a UN a global ambassador. And this is one of the good things that the UN does to encourage young people to get involved in these initiatives in their local countries, and just to do what they can to contribute. There's this is a fun one. Her name is Nino, and her last name is Nanashtashvili, and she's from Georgia, which is it's a Russian, used to be a Russian country, now broke away, but they have a lot of challenges in the last few years. And she's a gamer. She's into gaming and technology. So she's actually started a number of projects to bring young people together to basically give them a place to go and be safe and and learn about and get education, but through gaming. And so she uses their language. And another thing you can do if you have a passion and a skill, just share it. There's another person called Chris Eigland, who's in Australia. And Chris, he actually is a representative of the UN for something called the School Bag Project. And this is a non-profit that works with young Australians to help them develop an awareness of international issues. Australia is a kind of remote place. They don't often have the dynamic of engagement. But he started this thing called the School Bag Initiative, which educates young Australian kids about living in an international world. And sometimes it's as simple as that, Let's see. Omang Agarwal is from India. And Omang is an Asia representative for the Commonwealth Youth Peace Organization. And he actually founded a peace program for education in the schools to teach the young children about peace and how they can contribute to a peaceful world. And these ambassador networks. I know several people, myself personally, who are in the Indian ambassador networks because they work with TEDx. They actually are ambassadors for TEDx as well. And they do such a great job of recognizing where there's, education is the key to understanding and, global awareness. This is really cool. So I'll mention one more. Her name is Khalida Brohi, and she's in Pakistan. And she is amazing. She brings together women from 23 villages, and as a little center set up where she educates them on how to be entrepreneurs, how to take advantage of microloans that are available for women, and just how to make themselves independent. And I think that's just really a powerful way to get them to start businesses, but most importantly, to find a market, find people that are going to buy and sell their goods. And so that's another woman in Pakistan. There's lots of them, and they're all mentioned in this article. I'll leave the link for you so you can go and get inspired by them, because I think that there's so many people, young and old, doing really cool things in the world. So that is our stories. Oh, I've actually got one fun thing for us at the end here. I don't know why I chose this today to talk about, but it just came to my mind. But anyway, people often ask you, are you single? And a lot of women in their 60s they're single. They're single by choice, or they're single because they've lost a partner or they've been divorced. And we've done some articles recently about being single, and people are shouting loud and proud, I love it, I'm single, I do my own thing, and it's good for me. But I saw this poster and it said, when someone asks you if you're single, say this: yes, I'm S, scintillating, sexy, spectacular, and strong. I, incredible, independent, inspired, intelligent. N, I'm nice, I'm noble, noteworthy, and I'm nurturing. G is giving, glamorous, glowing, and grateful. I'm reading this from a 10-point font. L is likable, lovely, lively, and loving, and loyal. And E is engaging, exceptional, exciting, and empowered. Those are the words that make us single women. I'm a single woman, so I'm going to do a shout out for me. But anyway, I just thought it was kind of fun to share with you. If people ask you, just spell it out. And finally, I would love to share the name of the person who won our beautiful butterfly scarf yesterday. I say won, it was no competition. It was me just randomly choosing someone, and it was a lady called Jane McGarity. So Jane, congratulations on winning the little scarf. It's beautiful, actually. And just send me your details. I'll leave the email for you to use, and then I'll get it in the post to you. And thank you. So thanks again for being here, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful Friday and get ready for a fun weekend. And I'd like to leave you with a question. And if you would leave a comment in the section below, we can compare notes and chat. I think this could be a fun question to answer. And that is simply, what people inspire you and bring out the best in you? What people in your life inspire you and bring out the best in you? Look forward to reading your comments, and have a wonderful day, everybody. And I'll see you all back here tomorrow on Mornings with 60 and Me. Bye-bye for now.